All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about something we all use, every single day. Something we trust without a second thought to get us where we need to go. But what happens when that trust is misplaced? This is all about what happens when location goes wrong.
Now, just to give you some context, what we're covering here is part 9 of a really important public awareness series called Invisible Interference. It's a team effort by RFI Detectives and Virtualizations Options LLC, and the whole point is to take this techie stuff and make it make sense for everyone because, this kind of interference can be anything from a small, frustrating glitch to a major problem that actually affects public safety.
So let's start with a feeling I bet you know all too well. You're driving, you're following the map on your phone, and all of a sudden it starts telling you to make a U-turn in the middle of a highway, or it thinks you're floating in a field next to the road just screaming, rerouting, rerouting. We've all been there, right? That moment of total confusion when your phone seems to have completely lost its grip on reality.
Well, it turns out that little frustrating moment is really just the tip of a massive and honestly pretty serious iceberg. It's a tiny little peek into just how vulnerable the entire global positioning system is. A system that, believe it or not, our whole modern world is basically built on, and the consequences go way, way beyond just missing your exit. Okay, so when someone wants to deliberately mess with GPS signals, they basically have two ways to do it. They can either blind the system, or they can lie to it. Let's break down what that really means.
First up, you've got GPS jamming. Think of this as the brute force method. A jammer is this illegal little gadget that just shouts a whole bunch of radio static right on the exact frequency the GPS satellites are trying to use. It's like pure noise, so loud that those incredibly faint, delicate signals coming all the way from space just get completely drowned out. Your GPS is trying to listen, but all it hears is static. It's stuck in a total dead zone.
But then you have something way more clever and frankly more sinister. That's GPS spoofing. Instead of just blocking the real signal, a spoofer broadcasts its own counterfeit GPS signal. It's designed to look and feel completely legitimate, tricking your phone or your car into thinking it's somewhere else entirely. It could even trick it into thinking it's a different time. It doesn't just blind your GPS, it actively, deliberately lies to it. And this is the perfect way to picture the difference. Jamming is like trying to hear someone whisper directions to you while you're standing next to a jet engine. It's impossible. You hear nothing. Spoofing, on the other hand, that's like somebody went out overnight and moved every single street sign in your town. Your GPS is getting directions just fine, loud and clear, but they are the wrong directions, sending you completely off course.
So, you might be thinking, okay, a wrong turn is annoying, but why is this such a big deal? Well, because the systems we trust with our lives and our economy are all quietly, secretly depending on that very same GPS signal.
And here is the absolute key to understanding this whole thing, the part most people don't know. GPS isn't really about where you are. Fundamentally, it's about when. Every one of those satellites has a super precise atomic clock on board. It's the timing signals they send out that let our devices calculate their location. And that timing function has become the invisible heartbeat for, well, almost everything. And this just shows you how deep the rabbit hole goes. The electrical grid, it needs GPS timing to sync the flow of power and prevent blackouts. The stock market, it uses those timing signals to timestamp billions of transactions a day. Your cell phone, it relies on GPS to hand off your call from one tower to the next without dropping it. And yeah, of course, the entire global system of airplanes and container ships is built on this foundation. It's everywhere.
Just let that one sink in for a second. This quote comes directly from the research this whole series is based on, and it does not mince words. We've gone from a simple driving annoyance all the way to a national security issue. When you start messing with the signal that guides a Boeing 747, you're playing a very, very dangerous game.
So where does all of this leave us? It means we have to start thinking about GPS in a completely different way. It's not just another app on our phone. It's a global utility, like water or electricity, and it's a lot more fragile than any of us realized.
And that's the bottom line, really. The vulnerability of GPS isn't some nerdy little problem for engineers in a lab to solve. This is a public infrastructure issue. It's just as fundamental to our society as our bridges, our water supply, and our power grid. And when it fails, the consequences can cascade through everything. So when you boil it all down, here's the crazy truth. We've built this incredibly complex, high-tech world, and we've balanced the whole thing on a faint, invisible signal beamed down from space. A signal that, as we've just seen, can be blocked and it can be lied to.
Which of course leaves us staring at a pretty huge question. We know the system can be broken. We know it's at stake when it does. So what's next?
If our most trusted, most relied upon signal is this vulnerable, what do we do about it? How do we build a future that's more secure? We're actually going to get into that in the final part of this series.